Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy DLloyd. So the Los Angeles Lakers finally have their head coach. And quite frankly, it's somebody who I really didn't want the Lakers to go in this direction, but they did it anyway, and that head coach is Frank Vogel. Now, Frank Vogel, of course, he had a pretty successful run, at least in my opinion, with the Indiana Pacers. Unfortunately, they did lose 3 consecutive years to the Miami Heat in the playoffs, but he did make 2 Eastern Conference Finals with Paul George and even Lance Stevenson back then. They just couldn't get over the hump. He then went to Orlando, where he wasn't quite as successful, but I don't put everything on Frank Vogel. Of course, the head coach does need to take responsibility for what happened with that team. But it was a roster that really wasn't equipped to win right away. They were in middle of rebuilding, and you see Orlando now still a team that's just finally turning over from that rebuild, and they're a team now that is competitive. As you've seen, they made the playoffs this season. But Frank Vogel is now the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. And who had a lot to do with this? Well, it was Phil Jackson and it was Kurt Rambis. Those are the 2 guys that heavily influenced this decision. Of course, Rob Pelinka, the general manager, he was in on it as well. But you see the relationship kind of going back between Phil Jackson and Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel was almost hired as the New York Knicks coach when Phil Jackson was the president of basketball operations there. He came in second place. They ended up hiring Jeff Hornacek instead. So there is that small relationship there. Of course, Frank Vogel is a defensive-minded coach, and I have no doubt he will help improve the defensive side of the ball for the Los Angeles Lakers. But overall, am I thrilled with it? No, I don't think he's a terrible coach. So I'm not upset at the signing. I just think he's a guy who's not really going to make those adjustments needed in playoff time. I think he'll be fine during the regular season. I think a lot of the players will really do their thing. But this offseason is now even more important. The Lakers have to get somebody. I think it could be Kyrie Irving, but they have to get somebody this offseason. They have to have that team together that can maybe carry Frank Vogel a little bit more than Frank Vogel could carry them. Because essentially, the head coach is just another blame guy, especially in this Lakers organization that is still terribly ran. If you ask me, I still think Rob Pelinka needs to go. I don't know why Phil Jackson is in here giving his input on things. And Kurt Rambis, I'm sorry. Phil Jackson, a great coach. We've seen him ruin the New York Knicks. Kurt Rambis, he doesn't have the best track record as a head coach also. So I don't know why these are the 2 guys who are really running things for the Los Angeles Lakers at this point, or 3 if you count Rob Pelinka. I think the Lakers should address that situation. It looks like they're not going to. And it looks like we're going to be stuck with Frank Vogel as the head coach for the next 3 years. So he did get the 3-year deal. We've seen that. That probably means to me, at least what it indicates to me, is that LeBron James isn't going anywhere. When you're matching up the contract between the coach and your star player, LeBron James, I think LeBron James is safe. So I think all of that trade talk is pretty much out of the window. Now, one sticking point was, instead, more than just the length of the contract, was who was going to be assistant coach. Well, that is going to be Jason Kidd. He will be one of the assistant coaches. Now, according to Adrian Wojnarowski, is not going to be a lead assistant or a second guy. The way they're going to run their coaching tree, everybody is going to be an assistant coach. There is no hierarchy when it comes to that. Now, we'll see if that actually holds true, but that's similar to how Phil Jackson ran his staff. And you see the influence kind of running its course now with Frank Vogel as they put together that job. That staff. So we'll see who else they bring in, but we know Jason Kidd, he's going to be one of the assistants. Frank Vogel, he's going to be the head coach for the next 3 years. Honestly, I'm sort of mixed on it. Like I said, I'm not mad at it. I'm not ecstatic about it. It's a guy who I think can get the job done, at least in the regular season. But we're going to see how good he is at making adjustments, something that I'm kind of, I'm not the most optimistic about. We'll see how good he can make adjustments come playoff time if the Lakers are able to finally reach the NBA playoffs. But you guys let me know how you guys feel about this signing in the comment section below. Do you like it? Do you love it? Is it Let me know how you guys feel about it in the comment section below. It's your boy DLloyd. I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace.